And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. We have the race coming to you live from the Red Bull Ring. We did have the joyfulness of lobby glitch. We've had that a couple of times this week. It is unfortunate. These things do happen in online racing. So we do just need to be aware of that, people. So there are a couple of rules and regulations that the players do have to adhere to. Those who qualified in the top 10 will have to start on the tyre that they qualified on. We will be checking, and any failure to adhere to that will be reported to the stewards. There was one driver who qualified in the top 10 on the mediums, the rest were on the softs. And remembering that those from 11th in the grid to 20th can select any tyre that they wish from soft, medium or hard tyres. Well, Morgan, we had a good qualifying. Slightly then the lobby glitch kind of thing. You did know that there was, I think, some potentialness of rain. We have, in the interests of not being able to select changeable conditions in the lobbies, gone with a dry race. But it will still challenge the drivers.
Yeah, obviously it's come to the cheer of the people that we've got a dry race on the go, but I think the changeable conditions would have been much more fun to watch.
Yeah, no, definitely. So let's just recap the grids then, folks, and let's check those tyres. Let's make sure no one's went a little bit. Oh, okay, we've got one driver who has put the wrong set of tyres on. Monster Gaza should have been on softs, not mediums. So we will. We'll need to pick that up with the stewards after. So Tomo is on pole in the Mercedes, Tom Brown second in the Alpine, Simba third in the McLaren, Connor fourth in the Ferrari, Smith 96th is fifth in the Haas. He's on the grid on the mediums. He's the only one in the top 10 that should have been starting on the mediums. BGR in the Alfa Romeo 6th, Red Car Rambo 7th in the McLaren Championship leader, remember, and his championship contender in second, just 2 points behind, is next to him on the grid, Fanning. We then have Paulo Costa in 9th on soft, Monster Gaza in 10th, and the Red Bull should be on soft, is on mediums. Dilkington in the AlphaTauri goes softs. Then we've got Carl and Ocean Tame, the two Aston Martins, 12th and 13th on mediums. We've got Stupine and Boothie who have went on the softs, and the rest have gone mediums. Gibbon, Ty Clear, Lollipop Man, and Luke Chard. So it's going to tell you what, it's going to be an interesting one. Going to be interesting, shall we say?
Yeah, it's definitely been an interesting couple of races we've had here. It usually comes down to the strategy on whether you want to take the risk on the one stop or stick to the two.
Well, this is the thing as well. I think it's going to be really interesting to see who is going to be brave enough to go on that one stopper. Because you could do soft hard, but I just think you're going to be a bit of a lame duck towards the end of the race. Whereas those on the mediums, they can chance it.
Yeah, no, soft, medium, soft is a possibility.
Yep.
Easy's a soft, medium, medium. So.
Yep. And bearing in mind that we will likely, at some point, get a safety car. I think Monster Gaz has just said hasn't started on softs. We'll pick that up separately. As part of the race, we will just allow the grid to be formed, though. And we will be underway very shortly. So we'll keep an eye on the battle as we go through. The drivers getting ready. The green flags are flying. We are on the grid. The heat haze coming from the back of the car. Just waiting on connection to one driver at the moment. And here we go. We have one red light, up to 2, to 3, to 4, to 5, and the sound of the V6 hybrid engines is going! Austria, the Red Bulling. Great start from Tom Brown at the start there, already into the lead, but is Tomo going to go round the outside? The two McLarens, Mark finishes into third. Oh, we got a viewpoint running wide there. Turn one though, everyone looks to have got through nice and cleanly. Watching Red Car, Fanning, his championship contender, down to 9th. But Tomo is back in the lead, and Smith coming down the inside there of Simba. And we've got a Ferrari round as well. That's Connor, a little bit of disaster. We've got a Mercedes that's gone round. That's Paulo Costa. The two Aston Martins had a little bit of a coming together there. And Smith 96, I think, had to let Simba through.
Yeah, it was a bit of a brave dive down the inside there from Smith 96.
Yeah, I'll tell you what though, Fanning is down to 12th. He's really suffered. Do you remember he started 8th alongside Red Car Rambo, who's up into 5th. And Monster Gaza, Fanning's teammate, started 10th up into 6th. So a great start from him. Monster Gaza is falling down the field though because he has spun at the infamous Worth Curve, turn 7. It will catch you out if you don't watch yourself. Talking of watching himself, Fanning is just going or oh, and Fanning's gone! The car has flipped round! The final corner! Boothie's gone as well, I think it is! But championship second place man has gone! It's a virtual safety car, and you've seen it on the stream! The Red Bull flipped coming out of that last corner.
Right, sat on the main straight the right way up, but this surely could be a full safety car.
I would have expected a full safety car there. We'll just keep an eye on it. I will tell you what we will do though, just whilst the virtual safety car is there. We will employ the replay, which is me looking at it on my phone because we can't show it to you on the stream. But I will tell you what has happened. So we were watching Fanning coming down. He was behind BGR, and ultimately what then happened is it looks like the front right of Boothie made slight contact with the rear of the Red Bull, and that spun him into the Armco barrier and flipped the Red Bull. I'm not quite sure. I mean, both of them Boothie seemed to maybe go a little bit right, Fanning maybe went a little bit left, maybe wasn't fully there, but the car flipped. That might count for the first time we've seen a flipping car in F1, in MRC certainly.
Yeah, definitely. It's not a sight you see very often, but I definitely think that's helping people like Tomo222 at the front keep his tyres alive under the virtual safety car.
Yeah, DRS now enabled, VSC is over, and I'll tell you who it benefits greatly is the championship leader Red Car, but Simba and Smith96 having a challenge going into turn 3 there, a little bit of banging of wheels, a little bit of contact there, and the McLaren Mark falls behind the Haas. Remember Smith96 on those medium tyres as well, but here comes Mark into turn 4. Nice pass there, got better life and grip, but Smith's fighting him around the inside there. And is Mark going to live to fight another day? I think he is indeed. But Tomo is absolutely just flying away with it. Tom Brown second also, but Smith and Red Car has the two of them in his sights.
Yeah, I know Red Car Rambo is definitely going to be chasing down his own teammate because he wants as many points as possible between him and Fanning.
Does. Two Aston Martins up to 7th and 8th, so great. Remember, they were 12th and 13th on the grid, so they've come up through the madness that we've had. We thought that Austria might produce drama on the first lap. Now, normally it's into turn 1 and turn 3, but we had drama on the final lap, which has resulted in the loss of one of our championship contenders. And here comes Mark trying to look up the inside again of Smith96. We will keep an eye obviously on Tom Brown and Tomo first and second, but we'll keep an eye on the battles that are going on.
Take a breath for a second.
Let's take a breath. It's time for some Iron Brew, Morgan. Iron Brew.
A bit of Monster for me. It's keeping me awake today.
This is it. Monster Morgan and Iron Brew will get you through, as they say. Just watching Carl on the stream just now, coming up the back of Connor. His teammate gets a 3-second time penalty, and that's it, track limit. And you could easily have a couple of bad corners, and instantly you've got 2 track limit infringements, and then your third one gives you a 3-second penalty.
I wonder if Ocean Team had a few bad corners there, because obviously Ty Clare and Dilkinson got past him.
Yeah, the 2 Alpha Tauris. Again, I think Dilkinson started 11th, and Ty Clear started at 17th, so a great start indeed for him. Gibbon man there, just keep an eye on 2 McLarens currently still running line astern, Simba in front of Red Car. We'll see if any team orders come into play, but Ocean Team is now past Ty Clear. We're seeing it here just coming out of turn 3. And
at the front, Smith 96 was looking for a dive up the inside of Tom Brown. They've both gone a bit wide out of turn 7.
Oh, we'll jump back to that just now. We're just seeing it. Good shout. Smith 96 running wide in there into turn 6, but it does keep it nicely there. But this is the thing. The more that Tom Brown's going to battle here, the more that's going to allow Tomo to extend his gap. But the gap between Tomo and Tom Brown is coming down actually. So I wonder whether Tomo's just had a little bit of a tardy final sector, because it was up at about 3.2 and it's now about 2.7, 2.8 as red car goes fastest.
He absolutely gunning for that win this week.
Yeah, he is. He knows well he'll know if he's listening to the stream, obviously. But oh, here we go. Here's Simba going up the outside, coming into 3. And oh, there we go, just runs a little bit deep. Martin Hill saying that was epic. It was one of this. But look at what we've got. Smith 96 is already up into second place. Simba's also passed Tom Brown. Where's red car going to come through? Yellow in sector 2. It is line astern.
I think that must be something with Dilkinson.
He's spun. Unlucky for him. Made a good start through the field. Tomo is not getting away in that Mercedes, though. It's still about 3 seconds.
I reckon Ryan will be getting very angry in that second McLaren, trying to get past his teammate because he wants those points.
He does. He will be on the blower to Zach, going, or Andrea Seidel going, let's see where we are. But Mark is going to be concentrating on getting past Tom Brown. DRS aplenty though, and the DRS train is certainly there. The key for the... Sorry.
Oh, I was going to say, another person who's having a great race is Connor. I know he's been gunning for his first points this season in Tier 3 as well, so it's good to see him up there in the top 10.
And Tom Brown is the meat in a McLaren sandwich, the blue and the orange, because both McLarens have gone past him. He didn't have DRS coming from turn 1 to 3, and he was a bit of a sitting duck there, so he will look to regain those places within the next kind of couple of laps. But because we started the race afresh and no qualifying, the soft tyres will be able to probably go to about laps 9 or 10, or potentially up to 11 and 12.
Oh yeah, guaranteed that the soft tyres will at least get to lap 10, but it's the medium tyres, I think, are the ones we've got to watch, because we saw some people on Monday, like Thomas Hornick, go for like 20 odd laps on a set of mediums for trying to get the one stop to work, so got to really watch when those guys are going to decide to pit to make their strategy call.
They do indeed. We're just watching the battle, which is Ty Clear, Ocean Tame and BGR for 8th, 9th and 10th. Ocean Tame's going to try and go down the inside into turn 10, and he does! That was a bold move, but he was committed to it. They will get to DRS, but I wonder if Ocean Tame will be, again, that sitting duck as we come down from turns 1 to 3. But Martin does say those Astons are looking strategically powerful, and they are indeed, both on the medium compound tyres, don't forget. And there goes Ty Clear back up the inside of that Aston Martin. It's very difficult to defend as well, though, Morgan. If you've not got DRS coming down turns 1 to 3, you are struggling. Unless you fully utilise your ERS, you're kind of a bit of a sitting duck.
It's quite a difficult place, and obviously if you're all still battling around the track, you do tend to find yourself in like a DRS battle, because one person will have the DRS, then you'll overtake them, then the other person behind will have the DRS back, so it's always quite difficult to maintain a place in a battle.
Yep, talking about battling, Monster Gazza's only a 10th of a second behind Man in the Williams. Oh, has he spun at 7? He has, he's just coming back on now. Again, a victim of that infamous corner at the Worth curve. Bithy down.
The battling up the front sure helped Smith 96 get away, to be fair. He's only got a 1.5 second gap to Simba.
He has, and he's the gap to Tomo's kind of stabilised now, about 2.3 seconds, which I think Tomo will be really happy with, because bear in mind that those medium tyres are going to have, just seen BGR looking to go up the inside of Ocean Tame there. Remember, BGR on those soft compound tyres, currently 3rd in the championship, will be looking to make moves, be the mover and shaker in that championship. He will likely get past the Aston. He's going to go around the outside into 4, and I think he kind of got out of it a bit there. Would have been a brave move.
First pitter, he had a new wing and a set of mediums.
So he likely trying to go to the end. It'll be interesting to see if he can. Probably not with 27 laps on a set of mediums.
It'd be a hard drive, that.
Yes. Oh, Tomo gets his first 3 seconds, so he's got to watch. So I'm sure for the life of me I can't remember, in Tier 1 or Tier 2 someone did do about 27 laps on a set of mediums. I'm sure they did. can't for the life of me remember who it was. We'll look back and see. Tell you,
I think it was Reese in Tier 1.
Yes, it was. He did indeed. Yep, good shout. But here we're going to see Carl lining up the Ferrari of Connor. Red car has passed Simba as well, coming down into turn 3. And BGR has also passed Ocean Tame. We can see the end result, and both of them have run really deep into turn 3 there. Who is going to get out? I think BGR had to potentially give that one back. Actually, no. Ocean Thames had to give it back because he overtook BGR off the track. But Carl is slowly just making his move. About 4 seconds now. Tom Brown just kind of cementing that position behind the two McLarens just now. Oh, I think Ryan had a little bit of a moment potentially, and I think we might have our first pitter in the top 10 because Tom Brown is coming into the pits. So our first soft tyre runner in the top 10 is pitting.
I think he'd be trying to go for the undercut and the rest of the people on the softs here.
Yeah, we've seen it work though, in both kind of tier 1 and tier 2. So again, it is possible. What he has to watch though is where he comes out traffic wise, because looking at the track map, he's going to come out behind the battle of Monster Gaza, Man, Ty Clear, Paulo Costa, and that is going to cost him time because they're all going to be battling. And he's going to be wanting to get past and he gets out just in front of Man. But he's going to be vulnerable because Man will have DRS. But we will...
I definitely think he's struggled there with track placement, but hopefully when the people in front start to pit, he should help him out again.
Yeah, definitely. So Carl around about 4.5 behind Red Car. Red Car slipped back behind Mark again, so it's obviously been a moment for the man at the top of the championship. Tomo 222 continues. Smith 96 continues, as you would expect, being on those mediums, and so do both the McLarens. Carl looks, is he continuing? Yes, he is. He's on the mediums, and so does Connor. Just let's check the progress of Tom Brown. He is right on the gearbox of Paulo Costa in that Mercedes. It is going to be costing him time because right now he is 24 seconds behind the leader. But crucially, one of the Red Bulls got a really big tank slap. That's well, it's the only one left in the race, Monster Gaza. But Tom Brown's going to look to go up the inside of both of them into turn 1. He has to watch that he doesn't run wide, and he does run deep. Paulo Costa also as well, he may have had to give that position back. We've got places changing left, right and centre. Monster Gaza and Tom Brown both got DRS. Tom Brown needs to make this move happen now. Oh, he's got to watch that he doesn't... I think there might have been a little bit of contact there potentially. But we will see. But he's now only about 18 seconds behind Simba and Red Car, who again have swapped positions. Tom Brown does go past Monster Gaza though.
Yeah, those McLarens are definitely battling up there for the last spot on the podium. It's going to get a bit tense for Zach Brown. I think he's going to have to have a word with him soon.
He is. He's going to be on the blower and going, boys, calm it down. Because again, though, the more that they fight, the more that they're going to fall away from the back of Smith 96. The more that's going to bring Carl potentially into them as well. Because Carl's really only 4 seconds behind, and he was about 4.8, 4.7. And here's Red Car again. And Simba's going to go around the outside, and Red Car letting him through. It's a very strange dynamic in McLaren tonight. Whether it's... I don't know whether, again, it's to get DRS. I can't figure it out.
It's getting a bit tense between these boys, because I know for a fine fact they'll be working together to try and get max points, but
yeah.
I'm quite sure that Mark would have got the message that Red Car's fighting for the Drivers'
Championship. Exactly. They were all putting pressure on Gavin Massey-Jenkins here in the race director position to make sure it was a dry race. But again, and Carl's gaining slightly. He's around about 3.6 now behind these battling McLarens, and both McLarens do continue. Tomo continues. Again, let's give credit where credit's due. Soft compound tyres, lap 14, Smith 96 on the mediums. Tomo's still maintaining that gap at about 2.5 seconds, and Red Car gets his first track limits 3 seconds, which he will be furious about.
Yeah, I've got to say it's really good to see that he's managing to maintain that sort of gap on 13-lap old softs, which maybe he might be trying to go for the one-stop strategy, trying to push the softs so far.
Yes, indeed. So
Tom Brown obviously is trying to go for the one stop, I reckon. I don't think Dilkington will stretch those mediums out, and you've got man on hards as well, so...
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Tom Brown just set the fastest lap of the race and is now only 14 seconds behind Redcar and 15 behind Simba. He's already jumped them, so in the undercut, but if they pit again, then fair enough, but if he does try and go to the end, it's going to hamper him on tyre performance.
Oh, definitely, it's going to be one of those strategy calls to see how the tyres are going to last him.
Yep. And Redcar pits, our championship leader is in the pits. He has decided to go first out of the two McLarens. Mark will continue. Monster Gaza gets another 3 seconds, so Carl jumps up into 4th place. Ocean Tame is also pitting, so the first Aston Martin, who was on the medium tyres, remember, is pitted. So Redcar goes. Tom Brown is going to be past Redcar, so at this moment, and I mean, I'd probably say 21 laps on a set of mediums, it's possible. Again, I would say that possibly going for a soft run at the end is the most likely. I think certainly for Tom Brown, a two-stopper is there already.
Oh, guaranteed. Speaking from experience, the mediums definitely seem to get a bit sketchy towards the end, so anything around 20 laps is always a bit of a push.
Yeah, I think in practice I did about 20 laps on the mediums, and they were definitely like Bambi on ice, but currently Bambi on ice is possibly for these mediums on the Aston Martin, because Carl is being reeled in slightly by Connor. That gap is now around about a second, but I just wonder if those mediums are starting to drop off slightly. Oh, and Connor made a last minute dive into the pits there.
If those mediums are starting to go off, God knows how Tomo's softs are doing on 15 laps now.
Yeah, exactly. Penalties, Martin does I say the penalties. Looking, there we are. Top two are 3 seconds. Simba and Carl clean at the moment. Tom Brown's got 3, BGR 3. Connor has 6, 12 seconds for Monster Gaza, and a collection of 3 and 6 seconds down the field. So Redcar now just about to take Monster Gaza by the looks of things. A little bit of weaving on the straight there by the Red Bull, all allowed, but as long as it's not dangerous. And in front of Redcar is going to be Gibbon. So this is the thing. So Ryan has come out 5 seconds behind Tom Brown. And remember, Tom did get traffic on that kind of outlap as well. Redcar's looking to go down the inside of Gibbon, but I think he was a little bit too far behind there.
Well, that's Tomo into the pits.
Tomo pits, so our race leader into the pits. We will follow the progress of him shortly. Simba's also pitted, so the other McLaren is in. It is going to be crucial to see actually if getting stuck behind the Ferrari and the Red Bull here for Ryan has impacted his race, and if he can get out in front of his teammate, because Mark is coming trundling down the pit lane. Whereas Ryan is absolutely at full pelt with full DRS. He will be looking to get past Gibbon. I think he might take his teammate. He might not, though. I don't think he will, because he's had to kind of back out of it. But there it is, and Mark comes out in front of Ryan. Ryan almost wanted to go down the inside of Gibbon there, but seemingly backed out again. Maybe more protecting that championship lead, maybe not. He doesn't need to make any sudden moves or anything like that. Ooh, and a little bit of touch in the back of the McLaren there.
I think it was good for Tomo's time, so he managed to get out in front of Tom Brown. So
he did. About 1.3, 1.4 in front at the moment, which is good. What will be curious though is to see if the gap between Spin 6 and Tomo actually does decrease anyway. I mean, it should do with those brand new medium compound tyres. But then you've got like Carl's in the middle of them as well, but Carl's about 8 seconds up the road from Tomo, so again, I think it's nicely balanced. I mean, Tom Brown will be really pleased, because after kind of dropping back behind the McLarens, behind the Haas, he can now see that Mercedes again. And OK's probably done about 7 or 8 laps longer on his mediums compared to Tomo's, but it would just be pleased to see the back of that, or the rear wing of that Mercedes again.
Yes, Connor's obviously living life on those mediums, setting the fastest lap. But yeah, Tom Brown's definitely been the biggest winner out of the pit stop strategies. I think getting back out in front of the McLarens is definitely a big bonus for him.
Indeed.
One thing I've just noticed though is BGR Echo's got 17 laps on those softs.
I think he's definitely going for the one-stopper. I think he's going to replicate Reece Ryan's back past Mark. So the two McLarens continuing to fight, continuing to be line astern on the racetrack. Two Ferraris, 9th and 10th as well. So
yeah, I think Connor's definitely gunning for that place on the points. He's been wanting it all season, so hopefully his race goes his way and he can back those first points he's been after.
Indeed. Tomo's taken 2 seconds out of Smith 96 in the last lap. And to be fair, Tom Brown is coming along with him. BGR has pitted, so those 18 laps now on those soft compound 19 laps, he has decided he's had enough. That promotes the two McLarens into 5th and 6th. Carl's kind of the gap between Carl and Smith is stabilising at 8 seconds. It's not really increasing. Tomo's obviously gaining. Tom Brown is there in 4th. Simba has passed Red Car again. I really can't wait to. I think both of them after this race. It's an interesting dynamic. Let's put it that way.
I'm just really hoping that they don't knock each other off the track. It's all I'm hoping.
Yep, exactly. Talking about off the track slightly, Smith 96 has got another 3 seconds because he has been over track limits a few times, too many for the steward's liking. Monster Gaz is under attack from Connor just in the background there. Tomo has gained probably only about 4 or 5 tenths on Smith this lap, so that challenge has kind of died out slightly. Our race leader at the moment is just about to come up and lap his Haas teammate Luke Chard, and then just further along will be Monster Gaza has gone! He has gone round. Let's just see where he has lost in its car. It's in the same place as Red Bull teammate, although and there we go. I would be surprised if that is not a safety car, because that Red Bull has 3 wings. If it has 3 wings, the FIA might look into it. But it has 3 tyres, because that Red Bull and Stuyvesant having to get out of the way. We do still have a yellow and 2. They have cleared that Red Bull. Both Red Bulls out of this race, all between the final corner and the start-finish straight. Now, bear in mind that Red Bull were just sort of behind McLaren in second on the constructors. This is horrific news for Christian Horner and his Red Bull drivers.
Smith 96 diving into the pits, but yeah, I definitely agree. It's been really weird how the big crashes have been down the main straight, and neither of them have caused the full safety car. Yeah.
So let's see. Smith 96 is out. Is he going to lose places to the McLarens? I don't think he is. He's certainly lost. He's certainly behind. He's gone onto the soft, so he is looking to do 15 laps on those softs. Again, possible, but they will be a little bit slippery towards the end. But Tomo is only 2 seconds now behind Carl. So I think Carl might maybe go for another, knowing Carl, probably another 2-3 laps and maybe do final 10-11 laps on the softs.
He does love a good long stint on some tyres, so I could definitely see Carl going to 23 or 24.
He does. And I mean, if he was to pit just now, he would fall down to 7th. He would come out behind Connor. But again, the leading gap is closing, because you're only talking 14 seconds covering the top 7. Penalties are starting to come into it. Carl and Mark are the only 2 in the top 10 who don't have any track limit penalties. Carl has run wide there at the exit of 10 though, and Tomo.
I definitely think that looking at how much time Tomo's gained on Carl in the past couple of laps, I think those mediums must be getting to the Bambi and Ice stage.
Yeah, definitely. Let's just look back from the rear wing. So we'll jump on board with Carl. Let's do a few corners with the Aston Martin driver. Let's see how that car turns in. He is braking early, and you can understand that with the wear on the tyres. Tomo already within about a second now. He's already 9 tenths. We do have a yellow in sector 2. It's one of the Alpines has spun around. I think it was Stuyvesant there. But if Carl decides to pit now, he would need to do 13 laps on the softs. And again, it's not impossible to do it, but I think he will likely be passed by Tomo in the next lap, because it's down to about 6 tenths of a second. And Tom Brown is keeping there as well. He's about 3 seconds behind Tomo, but he's keeping the front 2 honest. Smith 96 there, kind of gaining slightly. Carl, does he pit? No, he doesn't. He continues again.
Quite surprised that the softs on Smith 96's car, I think, got him a bigger advantage towards Tom Brown.
They have indeed. Carl goes to cover the inside, coming in the run up to turn 1. Tom will probably just sit slightly, but he's passed now. And I don't think there was much that Carl could do to defend. I think he looked to go on the inside going into turn 1, probably just as a kind of not after you, but this isn't my fight necessarily right now. But yeah, you're right. Smith 1.7 behind Tom Brown now.
Yeah, it did good to get that fastest lap, so obviously they must have switched on in this lap now.
2 McLarens, I'm obsessed with it. I'm obsessed with this battle, and I really, really, really want both Ryan and Mark at the end of this race to tell us the interesting team dynamics here, because they're constantly in this little battle with each other, and they'll pass down the turns 1 to 3, and then the other will pass the next lap. And let's put it this way, it's not impacting the race, they're not losing any time to Connor behind them, but surely...
On the lead
No, they're not. They're 6 seconds now behind Smith 96, who's right on the rear wing of that Alpine of Tom Brown, who's really gained in the last... But again, I'll come back to this. I think Tom Brown is going to have to pit again. I'm not convinced he can get to the end of the race on those mediums. If he can, I will not eat my Iron Brucan, I will eat my Empire Biscuit. But I just don't think there's the grip there. And I think he'd probably be right to stick a set of softs on for the final 7 or 8 laps, because it's a 16-second loss. If you're losing more time than that by keeping the mediums on, you may as well have switched on to the softs.
Yeah, it's obviously, while you're having that talk, the McLarens have switched place yet again.
it's formation again. Yeah, it's formation flying. This is exactly what it is. Now, don't get me wrong, I've heard of airplanes going in formation to save fuel. They're trialling these things out to save fuel and everything. Are the McLarens trying to save fuel by using the DRS and the slipstream? Effectively, they could well be. Who knows?
I don't know, but in the last lap they've lost about 2 seconds to Tom Brown by doing this formation flying, switching places. So
yeah,
I think at some point they really have to decide on who wants to be the lead McLaren, because it's not doing them any favours. No.
Smith 96 has passed Carl, so Carl is continuing to go on those medium compound tyres. Smith runs slightly deep there, but Tom Brown will be looking to pass Carl as well. But again, this is allowing Tomo to stretch his lead. 2.8 seconds. It's exactly the same gap that it was about 10 laps ago, where Tomo was about 2.4 seconds in front of Smith. It hasn't changed through the pit stops, and it just shows the consistency between all the drivers, which is superb.
I think consistency was definitely what Tom was looking for this week after a couple of dreadful races in the past few weeks.
Yes.
Hopefully some consistency will do him some good.
Indeed. Martin says Carl's hoping for a safety car, and I think he is. Although so far we've had 2 major incidents, both that haven't warranted a safety car. There's no rain coming, I can tell you that. It's a nice dry summer's day, hot scorching temperatures in Austria. As we do, Tom Brown runs slightly. Carl gets his first 3 seconds. And again, those tyres are going to be getting past their best. Carl, if you're listening to this, are you going on to the softs anytime soon? Is possibly the answer is yes. But again, here come the 2 McLarens. After you. No, after you.
Doing the Chuckle Brothers act.
Exactly. Martin says, did I switch the safety car on? Yes, I did. However, Bernd Mailander may have eaten too much Austrian apple strudel. He may be in a sort of sleep right now. But you never know what could happen. Mark in front of Ryan. Then we got Connor. It's all starting to really spread out again. The field is spread. There's not that many kind of close battles at the moment. Closest battle on tracks probably Ty Clear and Paulo Costa are about 0.8 of a second behind. We've got 3 drivers who are down a lap. We've got another 3 that are likely to be lapped shortly by the race leader, and Tom Brown and Carl pit. So Tom Brown's going soft tyres, Carl is going soft tyres. The Alpine comes out in front of the Aston Martin. Connor in the Ferrari up into 5th. The 2 McLarens 3rd and 4th, led by Mark, but for how long? Because here comes the DRS, And is Ryan going to go up the inside? No! Mark said, after you, Sir Ryan. And Ryan went, no, you please go in the lead. 10 seconds there.
For it again, yeah.
Yeah, well, 10 seconds they are now behind Smith 96, who is 1.8 seconds behind Tomo now.
Yeah, those softs will definitely be giving him an advantage, but I'm not quite sure how much longer they'll hold on for to give him the speed boost.
Yep. So Tom Brown comes out in 6. So he's 5 seconds behind Connor, so that's certainly within striking distance. Carl's certainly within striking distance of the Ferrari as well. 8 seconds to the two McLarens. Oh, red car was looking down the inside, and is Ryan pitting? No, he's not. Again, thought he was going to look either to pass Mark or to go into the pits.
It's getting messy now between the McLaren boys.
Yeah. It's a bit like a car crash. You almost can't take your eyes off of it. Not that we hope there's any car crashes, and we don't want to jinx it at all. But it's just it keeps giving.
Yeah, Red Car got DRS that lap and just didn't open his wing for some reason. I'm not quite sure why, but and I suppose here's the other thing: unless. Have they underfueled? Have they thought maybe gamble a safety car and it hasn't arrived and they're low on fuel? He does go through now into third place, but he then runs deep into 4 and Mark is back past him. To be fair, it's a real struggle fuel-wise at the Red Bull Ring, because I really struggled when I was doing my practicing to get like a good fuel level to survive a race without a safety car involved.
Yeah, no, definitely. Smith's fallen about 2.1, so Tomo is gained a little bit. Red car gets another 3 seconds, so let's just take a pit stop on our penalty. So red car has 6 seconds, Connor behind him is 9, Tom Brown has 9, Carl has 3, BGR has 3, race leader Tomo has 6, and Smith 96 has 9. But here come the two McLarens again.
I reckon if the McLarens could stop fighting for 10 seconds and catch up to Smith, I reckon they'd stand a chance of getting within that gap.
And there again though, Ryan came down the inside of Mark, possibly missed his braking zone, went deep into 3, and Mark's back past him. And Alex says, why are those two McLarens fighting? Who knows? Who knows, Alec? Who knows? We will find out.
I thought they were supposed to be friends at McLaren this week.
No, apparently not. Again, we do have the race leader and second place are out the front, but the entertaining battle is coming from the two McLarens. Although the next battle that we'll focus on, because Tom Brown is now only 8 tenths behind Connor in that Ferrari, and Carl is around about 3 seconds behind Tom Brown. So Carl needs to probably close that gap. Connor gets another 3 seconds. The two McLarens are having fun again down the pit straight. Red car is back into it, but Mark will get DRS coming down into turn 3. We'll wait a minute, because let's watch an Alpine pass a Ferrari down turn 1 into turn 3. Right, that's been done. Right, back to the McLarens. I promise that this stream is not being sponsored by McLaren. Maybe sponsored by another orange based company, but certainly not McLaren. But again though, in here I come back to it. Tom Brown was 8 or 9 seconds, about 5 laps ago, behind the McLarens. He's now a second and a half. The two McLarens are risking a podium and a 4th place. But yeah, but Ryan's back out in front again. He's now at sort of 16.8 behind the leader. Mark's a further 7 tenths back. Yep, Alex, I am Brew. The best anyone can get.
I thought it was Gillette, the best a man can get.
I'll just call myself Jeff Stelling next time. Welcome to Gillette MRC. And Tom runs really wide in the out turn of 1, but he's got DRS critically now. What are the two McLarens going to do? It's the first time this whole race they've potentially had to think about another team behind them having DRS. Oh, Tom runs really deep though, and wide.
But he's still got the DRS open on Simba.
He does.
So,
Simba has.
Boys are really going to make the decision here on what's going on between them.
Simba's going back up the inside into 4.
Oh, this is getting messy now.
Yeah, and so again, Simba gets a 3-second time penalty for that sort of probably cut into turn 4. But Ryan is now, he's almost literally being pushed along by Tom Brown as they were coming into turn 6 there. They're just costing themselves time. It's a strange one. So Ryan's now going defensive into the turn 9. We'll compromise him into 10. But he's going to get DRS.
Yeah, it's the best he can hope for, is that he could somehow stay within touching distance of Simba and keep the DRS going.
Oh no! So Tom Brown went the outside of turn 1, almost clipped the back of the of Mark. Ryan was on the inside. He had to get out of it, otherwise it was potentially going to the scene of the crown. But here goes Tom Brown up into 3rd place. But then is Ryan going to get the cutback? The two McLarens are side by side again. Oh, I wouldn't like to be Zach Brown at the moment.
I wouldn't want to be in that team debrief after this race.
No, and Mark's going to go past him again. Tomo's now stretched his lead out at the front to Smith 96 at 4 seconds. We're not forgetting about that. But
I'll tell you what else is catching up, if you haven't noticed it, just behind that car is Connor and Carl almost touching the back of the McLarens now.
Yeah. And the thing is, Tom Brown's going to dance away in that Alpine.
He's already opened the gap up to 1.8 seconds.
Yeah.
I've got no answers here, Gav. I've got nothing for you.
No, we really need a Ted Kravitz pit lane reporter, to be honest.
Ted Kravitz is racing. He's in the battle with Connor.
He is indeed. Oh, and Connor decides that he decides. Oh, there's a bad contact. The Ferrari's gone round, and he's lost the wheel. Retired. Surely that is a safety car. Surely full course yellow. Safety car number 1 with 4 laps remaining. But
Connor in the points position is going to be absolutely kicking himself for that.
He is
absolutely kicking himself.
Now, in the interests of instant replays, let me just rewind slightly. Let's just go back a little bit of time. So, coming down from turn 1, I'm looking at the McLaren battles again. I don't want to see that. I've seen too much papaya orange. So, Carl comes into turn 1. Fine. Connor runs slightly wide coming out of 1. Carl gets the DRS. Carl moves to the left-hand side. Connor drives onto the grass, then suddenly sort of comes back. Taps with the rear right of the Aston Martin with the front left of the Ferrari, and that just spins him around. The balance goes completely.
What's happening here? Tomo's gone into the pits for some softs.
Oh! So...
could that be a good move? Because that'll put him on the freshest tyres at the front.
It will. It will indeed, but how many racing laps are we going to have in Tier 2 in France? We had 2 racing laps at the end and it was all chaos. Are we going to see something similar? But then you're right, because if you think about it, Thomas decided he's almost in safety car is in this lap. We are going to have 2 laps of racing, but critically, folks, we will have no DRS because the DRS will not activate because we've not got a clear 2 laps from the safety car. Therefore, Tomo is going to have to pass Smith 96 by merit using ERS, using late braking, whatever it may be.
I think under penalties, yeah, if he stays within 3 seconds, he's got the win anyway. Obviously, it's not the way people want to do it, but...
yeah. But then, funnily enough, like Mark, and this is the thing, these penalties are absolutely going to scupper like Smith 96, they're going to scupper Tom Brown, they're going to scupper Ocean Tame. But let's just jump back to the front, because Smith 96 turns into the de facto safety car. He hasn't gone yet, he's gone now, literally almost right at the line, and Tom Brown is all over the Tomo, and he's gone past him. Oh, and Tom Brown had a little bit of sideways moment there coming out of turn 1. The 2 McLarens are fighting, not each other this time because Simba has passed the Alpine. Tomo, is he going to go into the lead coming into turn 3? He's gone up the inside. Smith 96 not fighting that. That was a bit of a open door, to be honest, but I think given his penalties... oh, red car's past Simba, so the 2 McLarens are...
missed though, with red cars put a new set of soft tyres on as well. Wow. As well. And Carl.
Red car's coming up the inside of Tom Brown. Red car's gone round at turn 4. It's not what he needed. He put his front nose in and it's tapped him round and he's fallen down into 9th place. We'd still give him a couple of points, but that is not what he was wanting.
Optimistic move, which just unfortunately just didn't pay off.
Yep. Tell you what's possibly not an optimistic move, because Tom Brown's about to go down at turn 9 up the inside of Smith 96. Carl is going to be all over the back of Smith 96 as well. Could Carl get on the podium in his anniversary race? Marking the McLaren. He would indeed. Tomo is out front. He is scarpering away like a scalded cat on a cold. And Tom Brown and Smith both run wide. Ocean Tame has passed Simba. Simba has been dropped by Ty Clear as well. It is all go. Penalties are going to ultimately determine the results here. But Ocean Tame's gone up the inside of Ty Clear and runs really deep, and Simba makes a slight bit of contact with Ty Clear in the Alpha Tauri there. I was about to call it an Alfa Romeo. Certainly not one of those. But I just need to have a quick look at penalties. If Carl is 3.8 seconds behind Tomo's got 6-second penalties, Carl got 3. If Carl was within 3 seconds of Tomo, he could inherit the victory of the race.
Oh, it's not quite, because Tom Brown's just about 3 seconds behind, so he
but
literally be just over there.
Tom Brown's got 12 seconds though. That's the problem. But we are going to see Tomo comes across the line and waves and he wins. Tom Brown comes on the track second, Smith 96 third. Carl gets second on the road. Podium, Ty Clear takes third, who then knocked out by BGR Echo in the Alfa Romeo. Ty Clear fourth, Tom Brown fifth, Smith 96 sixth. Mark comes across the line in 7th in the McLaren. Red car is 8th, 2 McLarens line astern. Ocean Tame 9th, Paolo Costa 10th in the final point scoring position. Is Gibbon going to come through though? Is Paolo Costa going to keep that position? And when we lose the results, we'll come back shortly. But what an end to this race. Tomo 222 in the Mercedes takes the victory. Ty Clear gets driver of the day. The drivers will go away and will vote for driver of the day. Remember, folks, to send your driver of the day nominations to Rob, Genie. But what a race, Morgan, that was. And we have an Aston Martin in second.
Oh, you know what? It was a fantastic race. Still going to wait for some answers from the McLaren boys, but
yeah.
Some absolutely fantastic racing going on there.
Yeah, some wheel banging every so often, a couple of questionable moves at times, and certainly a couple of stewards' inquiries are going to be looked into. But this is how close it was. Tomo takes the victory, and he is well deserved there. 1.4 seconds to the Aston Martin of Carl, and BGR takes it. Tom Brown misses the podium, he's in 5th. Ty Clear takes 4th, so great from him. 17th on the grid to 4th, superb. Tom Brown just let down by the penalty. Smith 96 and 6th. The Tesco Haas has delivered. Every little helps from his perspective. 6th on the road. Simba 151, Mark is in 7th. Red Car Rambo takes 8th. He had an opportunity to extend his championship lead. He will collect 3 points. That will take his championship lead to 5 from Fanning, who did not finish. Ocean Tame takes 9th from 13th. Paolo Costa takes the final points with Gibbon, Mann, Stuvine, Dilkington, and then in 15th Lollipop, Luke Chard, Boothie, and Connor, Monster, Gaza and Fanning were the 3 who didn't finish. But what a race it was. Right up until the last, we said, could it be decided by a safety car? It ultimately was. Closed the field up, but a superb race, and the Tier 3 guys deliver again, Morgan.
Yeah, Tier 3 is always a great watch, and they've definitely delivered it again at Austria.
Indeed they have. Well, folks, we are taking a 1-week break for Christmas and Boxing Day, but MRC will return, do not worry. We are back in terms of the calendar. Let's just pull up the calendar. Let's keep you all in the loop. The next race, Monday the 3rd of January 2022. We go into the new calendar year, and we will be visiting the home of the UK F1 scene at Silverstone. It is the 3rd last round in Season 5. And for Tier 1, it is 20:45 on Monday the 3rd UK time. Tier 2 is 7 p.m. And on Wednesday the 5th of January, it will be Tier 3's turn again. 3 races to go, many points to be decided. Who is going to win the championships across Tiers 1, 2 and 3? Stay tuned, stay with us, and we will hope that you all have a good Christmas and New Year, and we will be back at the start of 2022 for more fun-packed action from the MRC. From myself and Morgan, good evening.